Okay, show. What's up? We're back.
Yo, it's going down. I don't see us.
Right.
What? There you go.
That's that's how
Wow.
long we've gone. We don't know how to do it anymore.
You had to add to the duration or the length of our absence. Anyways, what's up, man? I missed you.
I know it's been what? It's been a week or
When you're
so.
not busy, I'm busy. When I'm busy, you're not busy.
I know. I was
Anyways.
talking to my sister, and I was like, "Everything's back to normal in Davao, right?" Because I think Rod's pretty busy lately. I'm like, "All right," and it's pretty. It's pretty back to normal here, except for the masking. And I heard from my
Yeah.
sister that she went to the mall and she went in without the mask, and it was totally okay. I
Yeah.
think nobody
Yeah.
cares,
Same here.
and
I
I think
actually
that's good.
forgot. It was unintentional. I forgot. I left my mask in the car. Then I walked in, the guard didn't stop me, and then I realized later, it's like, oh, I gotta wear my mask. But yeah, I think it's almost back to normal, except hold on, except the theaters aren't as packed. So I'm gonna do a quick movie review later. Wakanda Forever, and I saw it with Raj the other day,
All
and it's
right,
not.
right. You
It's
went to watch
actually
the movie.
yeah, it's actually not showing in the US until Saturday here, like the 11th here.
Oh,
So that would be the 12th here. So
wow. Things
I
have
got it first.
changed, right? I mean, over the
Uh-huh.
years, we always get the movies in Asia or at least in the Philippines very late,
Yeah. Yes,
right?
yes.
And
Yes.
now we get it first before they actually see it. So that's
Yeah.
kind of interesting,
True
right?
that. True that. And
It's a
sometimes
really totally different world now.
and sometimes back then, right, we did like we would get movies here that was never like shown in the States, or they would make it appear as if it was really big here, and yet it's like a B movie in the US, like the Chuck Norris
Exactly.
movies and whatnot,
There
right?
is
Michael
right.
Dudikoff, right?
There's
Like
yeah, yeah, like the American Ninja.
yeah, like that's such a big deal. Shokosugi, that's such a big deal here. In the
That's a
U.S.,
big
that's like straight to VHS, straight to video. But
right. That sucks, right? I mean, if you're an
yeah,
actor, then you're making movies and it never gets released on the cinema. Like it goes straight to like Betamax or VHS. That yeah, that kind of sucks.
yeah,
That would
yeah,
suck.
that would suck definitely. Well, now it's like straight to Netflix, right? Like a lot of studios now when they make a
I know.
movie,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
they're thinking let's just make the guaranteed buck, so like sell it to Netflix rather than take our chances with the box office. Because if you sell it to Netflix, Netflix is gonna buy it regardless of whether it's a good movie or it becomes a hit or not. You're guaranteed to pay.
Yeah,
How
that's
would
why
okay?
it's different these days in terms of like movie experience because of these streaming services. I mean, back in the day, if it's a really good movie, it's really worth watching in the cinemas. And
That's
I
right.
remember those really nice movies I've watched in cinemas, and my God, I mean, I can't imagine watching those on
Like
TV.
what? Like
You know what I'm
like what
saying? Like
movies? Like Emmanuel,
that one, I prefer watching by
Scorpion Nights,
myself. Right,
Hibla,
Scorpion Nights. I prefer watching it by myself on this like
Patikim ng Pinya,
100-inch TV, right?
Balibong
With my
Pusa,
with
Serex.
my freaking Bluetooth headphones on,
Dude, dude, I can
the
never watch
doors
like
locked.
porn or adult movies with like a headset on. I'm so paranoid. Like I have this feeling like my mom or like someone would be like right behind me and I wouldn't even know it. I'm like, it makes me paranoid.
If you have a private room and you lock the doors, then maybe that's security enough. But I mean, what I'm saying is like imagine watching Speed for the first time in a like in your living room. I mean, no, I remember watching that movie and I remember how crazy it was when Keanu Reeves first came into the picture.
Yeah.
Everybody was screaming like ah! I don't know. It seemed like there was a fire or
Yeah,
something.
what did it? Every time you do a screaming thing, like why does everybody's hands have to be up? What? Hold on, hold on. I was thinking of you when I heard the news because of his brother, because you're a big fan of. Aaron Carter passed away, man.
I
That's
know, I
like,
know. I read that. This was like 2 days ago, right?
geez, I found out about it, I think just yesterday or from the
Right.
wifey.
I think this was 2 days ago, 3 or 2 days ago. But yeah, I read about it, and my initial reaction was, all right, could it be? Could it be like drug induced? Like could be drug
It's
overdose. I don't
almost
know.
exactly like how like what happened to Whitney Houston.
Okay.
I have not like read the details, but I heard like he drowned in his bathtub or something. So he must have taken like either sleeping pills or Valium and knocked him out. Mixed cocktail of drugs, knocked him out, drowned himself. Could be. We
Right.
don't know,
So
but it's kind of like an "I told you so." But I don't wanna like kind of preempt that. But that was a life that could have been saved. But he was so stubborn, man. I mean, his brother Nick, I think he did what he could. I don't know if you ever saw the reality show House of Carters or saw episodes of it. You're a Backstreet fan, so you probably have. Are you familiar
no,
with
I
it? Like,
haven't
I think it
actually. I
was like
haven't.
House of Carters. It's like a reality show by MTV, or I think it was MTV. And basically, it was like Nick and Aaron trying to live together, and their parents are there. Their siblings are there, but it's mostly Aaron and Nick. And dude, I'm telling you, man, those two. I'm surprised they didn't end up killing each other on that show because they just could not get along. And even up to his death, Nick could save him. And I think Nick was at a concert. I saw a clip of like Nick crying, and they were trying to pay a tribute to Aaron. He didn't even fly and missed the concert to attend to his brother. So that's just kind of like what that falling out is. Pretty sad, man. You know, pretty sad. Churchill, are you familiar with Churchill, dude?
Nope. What's Churchill? Like Winston Churchill?
Uh,
I know Winston Churchill.
no. Like on the comments, on the comments, he's asking a question. Please answer.
Okay, a Churchill. Oh, this Churchill guy. Hello, guys.
You
Unsa
know?
yung ginagamit ninyong audio interface? What audio interface? What are you talking about? Like,
Churchill, di kasabot og Bisaya si Iceman. So, uh,
no, that's
mali.
actually English right there. The one I did
Unsa
not understand was
ginagamit
the English part.
ninyo?
Audio interface. Like what do you mean audio
I
interface?
know audio interface is so like kind of like complex English, and yet like you know what I'm saying. Like he can speak straight English because he used interface, right?
Right.
But he decided to like because he knows we speak Bisaya, right? So I have a feeling this is somebody we either know or somebody who's been following us for a while. So Churchill, what's up?
Yeah.
So Ice, explain what interface?
Hang on. I
Jazzler.
don't even
We're using
understand.
Jazzler.
All right. So what we're using is basically just have like this microphone USB microphone. It's basically just that, and I can only use this with. I cannot use this for because Rod has the like
Hold up, let me get my mic.
like the connector, right? Like Rod has that um, separate, like whatever you call it, like right? Like he has this thing because mine is USB microphone. It's nothing special, but Rod has the what do you call your mic? The one like the that's, is that a toy or is that an actual thing? It's a toy, dude. What do you call our mics?
What?
Um,
Condenser?
yeah.
XLR?
Okay.
Condenser?
Yeah, okay,
XLR?
XLR. Okay, so Rod has that sort of setup, but me, I just have a USB microphone just plugged into my computer,
But you
and what I'm
sound better.
using is really like I don't know. I mean,
Is there a difference
I,
if you're the main account? Like if you're the main board, does it
I don't
do
think so. I
you
don't
have
think
a
so.
better kind of like output than let's say your guest? Is there a difference?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it really depends on your setup. But like I said, I only have a microphone USB or a USB microphone, and I just like plugged it in my computer, and that's it. The thing is with this microphone, this is one of the best. What do you call that? Like the cheapest microphone, like value for money microphone that you can get on Amazon. So I got this, and actually it's really good because a lot of I just didn't watch one YouTube review. I watched several, and all these guys were like, all right, like if I pick like a mic that's worth 300 $400, and I like this microphone is like $30. I mean, this microphone comes really close, and it's really like worth your money. Like 30, it's it's a steal, right?
Yeah, yeah. You
Like
sound good, man. It sounds good. I mean,
so that's what I have. But Rod has all these kind of setup. Like he's got a USB mic,
but I don't
and then
hook it
he's got
up.
like XL. Like you, well, how about the XLR? Like, are you using it right now?
I'm not using the XLR now. I'm just using the. I bought a. This is actually a gamer mic, Razer. This brand, Razer. It's not expensive, but I do have the Audio Technica and the more not high end, but I guess more
See, that's even
professional
more
quality.
expensive.
But I don't use those mainly because I think the interface that we're using. I think what Churchill wants to know mainly is okay. Churchill, do you want to know what equipment we have, or do you want to know what streaming platform we're using? I guess it should say somewhere already. If let's say people are watching us, does the StreamYard advertise themselves? But regardless, we're using StreamYard. It's a platform for streaming, and we.
Yeah.
I'll show you
Me,
my
I just
mics.
use my computer. My computer is just like an Optiplex 7010. It's a Dell computer. It's I mean I think it's iCore 7. It's Core i7, and it's pretty okay. It's not I mean it's not the fastest, but it's not slow either. So it's like I think it's in the middle. Um, so it really works for me. I have a yeah, like I said, an Optiplex 7010, Core i7, and I'm using a USB mic. That's pretty much it. And we're using StreamYard. Yeah. Jet Boy, what up, man? Long
All
time.
right, Churchill, my most expensive mic, and I ordered this from Germany, and it took like 2 months to arrive. It was quite expensive, very professional quality. It's this one. Mga gala. Oh, tag 5 lang. Actually, no, this is from my kids' Happy Meal. But it'll do. I do have mics, but they're not as fancy as I pre-advertised them. This is exactly the same brand that we use at the station for the recording. I don't know if you're familiar.
Samson?
Yeah, and there's another mic called Delilah. If I pair them up, the managan.
Right. They did
Yeah,
multiply.
so Samson, this is not too expensive. It's just like probably one of the most affordable, almost professional level. I mean, we use it at the radio station, so I guess it's professional enough. And crap. Okay. This one, I actually got this from John. So perhaps I don't know if you're familiar with this, Churchill. So this one is, I guess, the most popular of all those interface. So what this does is it's like a preamp. So it's kind of like our Optimod at the radio station. So if you wanna broadcast using your laptop, but you want it to have professional, audio quality, and you want to use XLR mics, which are more, I guess, more professional and have better output quality overall, you have to go through this because this one powers up your mic, and at the same time, it's like a preamp, so it gives it like kind of like that boost or whatever that you can't really simulate with like regular mics. I got this from Jong actually. I got a good deal, but this one, if we go serious with our streaming or whatnot, I'll use this. I did use this for my podcast. If you guys ever like checked it out back in the day with Spotify, and I did use this for some of our episodes, but it's kind of cumbersome because I have limited space in my studio, so I have to bring it out. So I just decided I'll go Iceman's route because he sounds actually a little better than I do. So it doesn't matter if you use all this equipment. You're still limited by the platform you're using. So regardless of whether you have the most expensive mic or whatnot, if your platform that you're using to stream your audio doesn't allow for that level of quality, it's not going to make a difference. So I think what we have, the StreamYard, is probably optimized for a USB mic. So that's why you sound better on this, at least the volume wise. Have you compared? Do you actually go through like an audio check once in a while? Like you listen to our shows?
No, no. I just wait for people's feedback when they say like, "Oh, that sucks. You don't sound like so." I mean, I
Murag
got it
lata.
for like
Murag
yeah,
lata.
right. So I got this for 3,000 yen. I can't complain.
That's
So
how
I'm
much
like,
in
all right.
pesos?
This is like around 1,200 pesos. That's like 1,200.
That's not
So
bad. It's not bad.
yeah, I know, right? So I was like, all right, cool. Got it for 3,000 yen. So yeah, I can't complain. And first time I used it, people were like, "Yeah, you sound okay. It's good." And yeah, I trust those YouTubers that I watched for the review. So yeah, pretty much it's okay.
Yeah, they always like when they do the YouTube reviews. It's like, okay, I'm gonna test the mic from this distance to this distance, from
Exactly.
this
Yeah.
to right to this, and then you buy the freaking mic and it doesn't work
Yeah, I know, right?
because it's not
That's kind of
compatible with
weird.
your laptop.
It's kind of weird.
It happens. I bought a little mic for my phone because I was thinking I'll just go straight to the phone. I can't even find the damn thing. But what happened was I hooked it up, right? I bought it, I hooked it up, and Raj and I were trying it out at the mall. And the when we listened to the recording, my wife is like, "Why is it hissing?" So I'm like, "Oh crap! I got a defective unit." So I was really thinking about, either sending it in because I ordered it. I think I ordered it at Lazada or something, and I ripped the box. So I was thinking, oh
Hmm.
crap, I have to return this. I'm gonna have to wait a month, whatever, just for this mic. And I checked on YouTube for troubleshooting. You just have to update the what's it called? The
Software.
Yeah, the software. You just have to update the version, and that's it. Mas kusog kay Rod. Oh, really? Okay, so there you go. Let's have some feedback. So Churchill, my volume's louder, or
It is louder.
okay? Let's do a test. All right, comparative. 1,000. How much is that? 1,500 peso mic compared to this
Right.
Razer, which is about 2,000. So 500 peso difference. Let's see if the 500 peso difference. Okay, so this distance. You first, Ice.
No, because my mic position it
Like
changes
this.
every time I right. Yeah.
Two
So
hands distance.
all right, 2 hands
Okay,
distance. All right.
go.
So yeah, basically.
Normal voice.
Right, but this is not how you use a microphone, though, right? Like
How do
you
you?
can see all.
Please teach me, dude. Nobody even taught me how to properly use it. I just keep going like this. Like Chuck
Yeah,
and I were like,
but then you watch Ryan Seacrest. He
I know it's
always
like.
put his he's like really near the microphone, right? So
So what's
you
the
know,
proper way?
I have no idea. I just because I like Ryan Seacrest, I just follow his
My gala,
way of doing things.
DJs, 20 ka tuig, di ka malo. Saan mo gamit ng mic?
There are ways of because okay, like what we had. I think it depends on what kind of setup you have. When we were at Killer B back then, um, it was
We had the same
designed to
mic
be
brand. It's
like
the same mic brand as Ryan Seacrest, except
yeah.
his is
So
gold, but it's the same brand.
right, but then what we did was because it was so loud, we cannot be really near the mic, right? So I think it has to do something with
You have to
volume
lower the
control,
master volume, right?
right? But
And then
then
you go
Killer B is
closer.
standardized; you cannot touch it. That's the volume.
That's
So
true.
the only way to adjust it is to actually just distance yourself from the mic, or like I don't know, you push the mic away or whatever, right? So
That's true.
that's how it is. So with these people that I see on
But what was
like on
taught to you?
YouTube
How were you trained? Like, what's the proper distance and volume level and all that?
and
That's
and,
just a
and, and
standard.
well, I don't know. Like, well,
Like
I
this?
just use like probably that's what I learned from my manager back then. Like, it should be like about like this one, like not too close.
Do you check the peaks like on the V meter? Like if it goes
Yes,
red,
so we had that.
if it's red,
We
it's
had that.
basag, right? Basag na, right?
Right, that's what they say. Yeah, but but then again, I never used headphones back then. I would just like look at the whatever meter that you call it, VO
Yeah,
meter. Is
you
that what you
did
call
never
it?
use headphones. That's so weird.
I do not use
How
headphones because I don't
come?
like
Like
my voice.
that's
I
the
do
way to
not like
monitor
my
your.
voice. I did not like my
No
voice.
way.
I do
No
not like
way.
my voice. I never use headphones because I don't
So
like
you
my
never
voice.
made adjustments, like, because I mean that's how you make adjustments if you have the monitor
The
on.
way I hear myself. Yeah, I know, right? That you need the headphones too. But I guess I really hate it. I just listen to myself, and if I think I sound good, like even without the headphones, I'm like, all right, fine. I'll go with this one.
Dude, you know what? That actually works because you sound pretty consistent. And I think same thing with Gabby. I don't think Gabby uses. I don't think she's very comfortable with the headphones on. But I've always been reliant on headphones because the way I talk or the way I modulate or the way I do my ad libs, it's always like I'm always like all over the place. So I'm like, because I get carried with emotions. I'm like, oh, you got Rod Rodriguez, blah 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 blah. So it's not consistent. Whereas with you, you're always kind of like the volume level, the delivery, it's always consistent. And that's why I need headphones because it's hard for me to speak on a consistent level because like I said, I'm all over the place. I'm like ADHD. Like I could be on my laptop sitting like this and then I'll end up like already like this later. Whereas with you, you're fixed. You're always like you have your studio posture, your broadcast ad lib position. Whereas with me, I'm like, and Amy's worse because Amy's like tapping the table,
Right.
which are like no nos, right?
I think so. You can't tap the table or you can't tap the pen that you have in your hand or something. So I think Annie does that. Or sometimes she's shaking her leg in some ways. So yeah.
Yeah.
So and okay, if I change the mic position, it changes too. Like for example, I have it this way, right? But then if I do it this way, it would sound different, right? Does it sound
Mm-hmm.
different?
Mm-hmm.
It sound different, right?
Yeah.
So
Sounds different.
so is it louder this way?
So that's no, it's quieter. You know what? I think you have. I don't know if it's a condenser or what you call it, but the certain mics can pick up audio signal from everywhere. Certain mics only one. So the one you
Right.
have, I'm not sure. Okay, what about me? Yo 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 yo
Yeah, that's
yo yo
loud.
yo 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 yo. Is there a difference? Yo 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 yo.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a difference.
So there, better. That's better.
I like that better.
Okay. What about this one? Yo 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 yo. Yo, what's up?
It's
What's
close.
up?
Don't
different?
change your voice because it like I couldn't. I'm not sure if it's your voice or if it's the mic
I
position.
told you, dude. I'm all over the place. I can never have a consistent delivery. That's why like you. I'm not very excited when I do production work because I'm all over the place.
Same here. It's the same here. But
Like I do a recording, it's like
that's pretty okay. That's pretty fine. It's
here,
good.
Churchill. Focusrite. It's Scarlett Focusrite 2, I think.
And people
Ask
ask us
Jonathan.
about things. What they do not get is that we are not technical guys. Like when I work for the radio station, I just go in there and start talking. I
We're
never
not.
even bothered to check what equipments we have. I'm pretty sure that we have the standard equipments because it's a radio freaking station. They're supposed to have it.
We're not
It's
technical
supposed to be
guys.
broadcast quality. So I never really bothered to check if we have a Sony or if we have like a Pioneer. I never
Whatever the heck
cared.
it is. Dude, the first time I played like a songs on air at UR97, I told you, all I had to do was stop CD1 and play CD2. I already had the CDs on pause. And what I did, I pressed eject on both. So I'm like, what? I didn't even do an ad lib. I wasn't even doing an ad lib. So all I had to do was just focus. And then once like CD1's about to end, just play on CD2 because the song's already queued. And boom, I press eject on the other one.
Confused with
Boom, I
the-
press it.
You got confused with the
No.
the play sign and the eject sign?
We're not technical guys. All right, basically that's it. We're not technical guys. That's basically
That's
it.
true.
You know, give us the
not
mic,
technical.
have the technician ready, and we're good to go. We'll do our ad libs. We can talk for 3 hours straight without commercials or any
That's
breaks.
true. Every time we do our hostings, like for example, when I went to SM back in the day, and I would go there, and I think who was in. I think SM had a contract with what was that? What was it? It wasn't
Star
Star
Records. Was
No,
it
no,
Viva?
no, 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 no.
No.
The
Proline.
Proline, right?
Proline.
these
Yeah,
guys
Proline.
from
Really good
Proline,
equipment. Really good equipment.
really nice.
Yeah.
And they have good technicians.
It's the one at ATU. That's Proline.
Yes. So these guys I've worked with in, like so many times, in different like sometimes concerts, and like events and stuff.
right.
So I
Keep
see
talking.
the same guys. So when I went, every time I go to SM, I see these guys. All right. So like I said, every time I go to SM, I see the same guys. So they pretty much know me. So every time I get there, they know how to, I don't know, they know how to work on my voice and what to do with the mixer. So they just give me the mic and I would just like do a sound check. They would like, all right, Ice, can you just like start talking? So I'd be like, check, check, mic testing, Iceman, check, go, Iceman, check. And they'd be like, all right, and they would like tweak something, and I'm like, all right,
And
check.
they would like turn it off. They would like turn it off. Palo
Well,
nga!
not exactly. I mean,
I
there's
mean,
nobody there yet, right? Because I'm there like
I'm just
about
kidding. I'm
30
just
minutes
kidding.
before, or sometimes there will be people there, but people don't really mind. So I would just like check Magic 89. I don't know, Killer Bee, check
Here's
Killer
my other
Bee,
mic.
right? And they would like, all right, you like it? I'm like, all right, okay, yeah, I think that's cool. They
What's
never
your
really
warm up?
cared.
What's your warm up line? Like whenever instead of the check 1 2 1 2, like is there anything that like a sentence or something, a phrase?
Well, I think I got it from Joe. Like like check Killer Bee, Killer Bee. So I think I heard Joe did that one time. So I kind of like do it. I go with it like Killer Bee 89. Check, Iceman on air, Iceman on the mic. I would say that, and pretty much to get attention, saying my name, Iceman, check mic, Iceman on the mic.
Aminin.
Papansin. So that's what I use.
You know what? That's a good idea. I will try that whenever I do my mic checks. Because what I do is I just do the Michael Buffer. Let's get ready to rumble 12 rounds of professional boxing. On the red corner, caballeros y caballeras
I
from
gotta ask you
East
something.
LA. What?
I gotta ask you something. Like, what happened with the have you seen the news or
What?
have you seen your Facebook post?
What?
There was this person who went, like who went amok at the basketball court. Like I think
My post?
No, like not your post. Like on Facebook.
That Pinoy guy. I don't even know him. I don't watch I don't watch.
This is like a college game.
I'm not
He just
updated.
went amok. He just started knocking out people on the court. And I saw the video. I was like, this guy's crazy, man. They should suspend him. I mean, he was already like,
Maui.
on the Maui. He was
I think
Maui.
they banned him for
Maui,
life.
Maui.
I forgot that. I don't know that guy's name. I don't really follow like college, but
Amores.
okay.
Amores.
Well,
That's
there's
it.
no amor. There's no amor in him. That's for
All
sure.
right.
Yeah,
I
that
don't
guy
know,
went Maui.
he just went nuts and he started running towards the other,
I think he's
bench.
notorious for that. I think he's done that before.
I think,
I think
yeah,
he did several times.
I think he punched somebody like months ago. So I think, yeah, it's about time that they should do something about it. Churchill, you're right. He's supposed to be in the UFC. Dapat nasa UFC siya. I
Yeah,
doubt
but
he
see, but that's the thing. Matapang pag hindi boxing ang laban, nagiging boksingero. Pag boxing na,
Exactly.
nagiging basketballista.
And the meme now is like, oh, he is the true MVP, most violent player. Most violent player. I mean, wow. That's right? I mean, wow. I mean,
Something's up with that guy. Either he's having issues or. But you know what? I haven't been following local basketball lately because I just realized that there are a lot of new volleyball players in the local volley, specifically like Ateneo. So you should check out
volleyball players?
Some of the ladies, yes. Some of them are like half, so they're Tisay mode on. Forgot the last names, but Ateneo. I don't know what these ladies are called. Volleyball. Blue Eagles women's volleyball. Check
Are you
him
sure
out.
they're not all volleybells?
Dude, I'm not. No, they're not. Holy, okay. I don't know who the new ones are, but I'm telling you, dude. Okay. Some of them. There was one that was really, really like hot. Just kind of half, I think. But the thing with volleyball, though, it's like I think they have players that don't play regularly on the team. So she'll be like she'll play a tournament or a competition, and then that's it. Like you won't see her again. Okay, what are
No,
they?
you know what? Like, see, here's the thing with women's volleyball. I know
this
they're
one.
like cute players.
Vanny
there,
Vanny Gandler. Vanny Gandler. Check her out.
Yeah, but
Vanny Gandler.
All right, okay, she might be cute, but if
Yeah.
she's not really good at playing volleyball, I mean, if she's just cute, then I'd be turned off. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want somebody who's like, if you say like, oh, she's really cute and she's really good at volleyball, because that's like, because I want to see somebody who
Like that
can play
Brazilian chick,
volleyball.
right? Like that Brazilian chick. What's her name? With the short hair.
Oh man, that was a long
God,
time ago.
I know. She
That's
was
like
like
once upon a time. Leila Barros.
Leila Barros. That's it, Leila
Yeah,
Barros. Yeah, she was
but
pretty good.
yeah, she was good. And there's somebody I admire from the Japan national team. This was like way back. Their captain was like what's her name? Saudi or okay, all right,
Dude, I'm scared. I'm scared
Saudi
to type because it might be like uh J
Saudi
J
Kimura. Saudi
Saudi.
Kimura was,
Can you
but
spell it?
this was like what 5 6 years ago. Saudi Kimura was really good back in the day,
Could you spell
but I
it?
think she already retired. Like Saori, Saudi Kimura. She was like the captain. Like I think 6 years ago, or yeah, around that time. I think she's not on the national team anymore, but they have a new one now, and
Why is it
she.
leading me to Jav?
So
Oh
she's
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah. She's cute. She's cute.
and if you look at her highlights, she is actually really good. So I'm like, wow.
Yeah,
So I
she's cute.
admire the like those athletes who
Oh yeah,
like
she's cute.
were really good, and then they have the looks. I'm like, wow. I mean,
Yeah.
looks for me is like second, because if we're just like talking about looks, I just like go straight to porn, because there are like a lot of like pretty porn stars. I'm like, I
And they're
mean, if
good.
I'm
And they're good at our favorite sport.
yeah, and then they're good at that thing that they do. So if I'm like, all right, oh, there's like there's whatever, like there's like an athlete, whatever. I'm like, but like, I mean, yeah, I mean, if I don't want to look at. I want to look at her game. I don't want to look at her, like imagining her without her
Because
toes.
she's an athlete. That's the thing. It's like it becomes a disadvantage because like she's an athlete, so she kind of But dude, there
All
are
right, you
athletes
want
like
cute? All right.
yeah. Go ahead, pick one.
Uh,
Pinay,
no, 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 no.
dude. Are we like in one of our like Manyakis episodes again? I have a feeling this is where this is gonna go.
What's her name? She like I. No,
Okay. What sport?
it's volleyball, but she kind of like took um she is it no, not Yuji. All right, hang on.
Okay, hold on. Man, okay. Newest crush ng bayan. Vanny Gandler. It's kind of unfair though. It's like the best player there is what's her name? The Pinay girl who one time I think was married to Kiefer Ravena or was dating Kiefer Valdez. Valdez. She's like super Pinay, but I think she's like one of the best volleyball players ever. At least on that particular level of the sport. But now comes somebody who's like hot, and that's just how she is. She's hot, but all of a sudden she overshadows Alisa Valdez's popularity, and might have nothing to do with volleyball. It's just that she's pretty. Okay, let me see. Okay, why are they allowed to wear shorts like this? Hold on, this is very okay. You there, dude?
Yeah, I guess.
You're looking for. You're
Because
searching your
I
files.
kind of like encountered I saw a post, and I was like, all right, I checked it out. It was like, all right, so I didn't know that there was this new volleyball player.
Mm-hmm.
So then I kind of like checked it out a bit.
Hold on. What nationality?
Like Japan.
Okay, hold
So
on.
I kind of like.
I think I know her name. I think it's Emitaki. Hold on. Let me see. Just type Japan volleyball. Is volleyball big in Japan?
Yeah, because they have a really good volleyball team. There's like I think like back in the what was that, like the you don't call it FIBA, like we have FIBA, and what does volleyball have? I think they were like
Volleyball
top
is
three,
Shakey's V League.
because they were like top three back here
Okay,
like
hold
3 4 years ago. So they
on.
were like senior, but oh, she's not here.
Probably FIBA. Oh no, FIBA. No, it's not. Hold on.
Who was that?
Okay, Japanese volleyball. Are you sure it was volleyball? Are you sure it was just not a scene in one of those like you know clips?
All right. Okay. Let me double check this. Oh man.
Okay.
Now we're in a rabbit hole. It's all your
No,
fault.
no, no. I dude, what did I do? I just okay. How did it start? Hold on? How did it start? How did we end up talking about sports?
I don't know, man. I
Dude,
mean,
how did we end up talking about
I
sports? We're
well,
talking
I
about
asked
equipment.
about
We're
that
talking about
guy who
equipment.
started. Yeah, the guy
Oh, the
started
Mao.
watching,
See, you started it. You started it. The Maui guy. You
and you were like,
started
"No,
it.
I don't watch the whatever, blah blah blah." And then,
Okay.
oh my
Erika
god,
Araki, Haruka Miyashita, Miyasato, Mayu Ishikawa, Yuki Ishii, Aikurogo, Saori Kimura, Miyu Nagaoka. Hold on. Um, Nana Iwasa, Saori Sakoda. Oh, that's the one, right? Is that the one? Saori? Yamaguchi, Arisa Sato. Does it ring a bell?
oh, no, not that one. We, I just like I saw it like days ago, and
Oh, geez. Okay.
it,
Well, you
it
better
and
check.
and
You better check this one out. I'm gonna give you a name. All right. Check her out. She's a volleyball player. Her name is Sabina Altinbekova. Check her out. Sabina Altinbekova. Dude, she is um from Kazakhstan.
right.
Dude, that's all I have to say. She's from Kazakhstan. I mean, it's a giveaway. Her last name, Sabina Altinbekova. Dude, she's like I'm telling you, Eurasian chicks. Actually, we can talk about that tonight. What's like the best mix in terms of getting good looks for your kids? What's the best mix? Is it Eurasian? Is it Phil Am? Is it um, you know, Japanese Japinoi? I don't know
Yeah,
what the other
got it. Finally.
Okay, what is it?
All right, hang on. I'm just gonna send you a link. All right, and check it out. That's her.
Hold on. I have a feeling this is not safe for work link. Okay, hold on. I'll check it out. You sent it already?
Yeah,
Okay. So she is Japanese, right?
she's Japanese.
Okay, let me see. Let me be the judge. It's YouTube? What the heck? Okay. Oh, shoot. I gotta mute this. Hold on. Shiho Yoshi. Okay. I better search her. Shiho Yoshimura. Oh, yes. Okay, right away. Agree. Oh my god. Shiho Yoshimura. Hold on. Man. Okay, we gotta check out like what I always end up like talking about rabbit hole, following through a rabbit hole on YouTube. Once they start showing these like video clips of like these European or Hispanic athletes like throwing the javelin or like
I
like in the
know.
Olympics
That's why I hate it. 'Cause
and their shorts are like super short. I'm like, who is this? And they end up like following them and taking screenshots.
There's just so much of them on YouTube. That's why I don't like watching it because I don't want to objectify athletes because I want to watch athletes for what
No,
they
no,
can
no.
do
Dude,
and
no,
what
no.
they look.
No, but don't. It's a totally separate thing. I mean, I'm not a fan of like javelin or discus throwing or a high jump, whatever the heck, a triple jump, whatever the heck, Olympic sport or whatever that is. I couldn't care less. You appreciate her for her beauty. That's another level of appreciation,
And here's the
right?
thing: when it comes to
It
like
can't be a bad
women
thing.
athletes, it's more of like I'm very impressed with women who like who have the looks, but then because because just a little bit of history because me growing up, I've seen all these beautiful women and they're just so frail. You know what I'm saying? Most of them are like,
Yeah.
yeah, I just want to comb my hair. I just want to stay in the classroom. I just want to look neat and whatever. I don't even want to run. They don't even know how to run, right? Then you see
Mm-hmm.
all these athletes who they have the looks, but then man, they can run, right? Man, they can play. So that's why I get so impressed with this one. So when I see these athletes on YouTube, like, holy crap, this person can play. This woman can play. Like,
Mm-hmm.
basketball players, volleyball players, soccer players. And, I mean, wow. and because growing up, all the women that I met who were pretty and who were cute didn't like doing a lot of running. They just
Mm-hmm.
wanted to sit down and look pretty.
Yeah, yeah,
And
they're
you
not
see
very
these
athletic.
women athletes who are like, wow, running around, jumping around, just like walloping people or walloping balls and shit. So it's real. It's something. It's a sight to see.
I get you. I mean, I totally get it, man. I mean, you have this attraction to women who I wouldn't say like masculine or athletic per se, but just excel, right? Women who excel, take charge kind of
Right.
women,
Right.
like the late former Senator Miriam Defensor Santiago. Not that you're like physically attracted to her, but you know what I'm saying. Like she has that strong person. Am I on the right path here, or you're talking about like sports?
Kind of like you're
Like
like a
Odette
little
Khan,
bit
you
off the
know? Like
mark,
like
but
Odette Khan, right? He's like in control. Oh, ano ba yan?
I mean,
Christopher Min. She's Christopher Min. She's in control of Kuya
yeah,
Butch, right?
I'm always like I'm always for balance. You know what I'm saying? I'm always for balance. Overly strong women, like I'm not threatened, but it's just kind of like, oh come on, man. I mean, have you probably met those type of
Yeah,
women?
yeah, yeah. That dime a
They're just
dozen.
like
My mom, what are you talking about?
no, no, I haven't met your mom, but I think your mom's like that. But
No, you
there are
met my
people.
mom at the beach with Murray. What are you talking about?
I know, but I mean, no, I don't really
Like
know
she wasn't
her
like fierce.
like
Yeah, she wasn't. Yeah, I
yeah,
get it. Yeah.
I mean, she doesn't make a big deal out of anything. I
That's
mean, if
true.
you
That's true.
know who I'm talking about, these women are like,
Yes.
you say something funny or you're trying to joke around or whatever, and they make a big deal out of it, and they're gonna, like fight you for it, right?
Hold
They're
on,
just
dude.
gonna
Shio Yoshimura kind of reminds me of my wife. So wala yung pagdapig-dapig, but I mean, my wife was a volleyball player back in the day. So
right.
they kind of like have that kind of meaty kind of, I don't know. If my wife works out a little bit, she'll have the same kind of physical shape. But anyways, go ahead. Go back to women who are.
Yeah, I mean, they make a big deal out of what you say, and they would like, they would try to like, oh, what do you mean? Like, no, I didn't mean anything. I just said that it wasn't meant to be anything. And
Mhm.
like there are women who are like that, and they start accusing you like, oh, you're like this, you're like no, I'm not. Like, what are you talking about? I have a sister, I have a mother. Like,
And your
you
sister is has a strong personality,
she does,
but
and like
not in a biatch kind of way though. Hers is
no, yeah,
more of like playful. Is that the term? Maybe.
right. Because I mean, there are people now who are like overly woke that they're
Mm-hmm.
not, I mean, they're not reasonable anymore, and I hate that. So
Like
I'm
everything's through a magnifying glass now. Everything is they're
right,
critical of
right.
everything
So
now.
it's like, but I know who these types of women are, right? I've met them, and I know who they are. Right off the bat, from the very first time that like talk to them, you'd know like, all right, okay, she's one of those types, right? But most women are just like cool, and even
Yeah.
those, like the reasonable ones, and you know what I'm saying, like they would, yeah, it's just so hard to,
I think the one that kind of irritates you or gets under your skin are the type who are they're not. I mean, it's more of like it's not really them. It's superimposed. It's like they exaggerate because they let's say they end up in a particular position where they become superior, and all of a sudden to their subordinates they power trip, or maybe they just traveled or something or went somewhere or married somebody. All of a sudden they acquire this personality overhaul where they think everything is an argument that they will win. And there are women who are independent, and there are women who are strong, and there are women who are successful and excel, but it's natural for them. It's like it's not trying to prove something, it's not a chip on their shoulder, it's not that, they're competing with anybody. It's just that's just how they are, and it comes naturally for them. So they still have that sense of humor, they're still charming, they're still, I guess, feminine in a way, and it's not something that is meant to intimidate you because you respect her rather than fear her. Whereas we don't want to make this issue about women, but it's just I know what you mean. It's like there are women where naturally have that personality and that strong, I guess they're motivated and they excel, and there are also those who all of a sudden who died and made you God kind of attitude. The Karens, right? Aren't Karens kind of like that? Like the Karen
Yeah, I
term?
mean that would fit. Yeah, I think that would
I mean,
fit the
not all successful women, hit you
well,
the same way, right?
I have a lot of women friends, and most of them successful,
So what's the
and most of them are
difference?
not really like I don't know. It's just probably they have like this chip on their shoulder, because maybe that's
Okay.
about it, and they
Are
just
they
try to make
mostly
you feel like
Filipina? Like, are foreign women were like that kind of usually not really, don't really strike you that way because you kind of
no. I
know
mean,
that.
I've met a lot of like like foreigner women, and most of them would be like, no, I know what you mean, and like yeah. I mean, the you know what it. I don't think it matters what like from what race you're from. What the color of your skin is. I think it comes down to how you think and your personality. I think it has to come down to that, because I've met a lot of Filipino women back then who acts exactly that way, and it's just like unbelievable. I'm like, man, I didn't even mean it to be like that. And like you're blowing it out of proportion. And I'm like, all right, fine, whatever, fuck it. Like I just avoid them, and like I don't need to talk to you. I don't need to explain myself to
But you
you.
enjoy that stuff though. I've seen you like, have countless conversations or
Well, yeah, for
almost
example,
borderline
yeah,
arguments with some of your female friends, and it's not like you hate each other. There's no animosity there. It's just more
because
of like
these
a
are
clash of
friends. These are the friends that I hang out with most of the time, and we have
like
arguments
Attorney
like that.
Cindy, right? Like Attorney Cindy, I'm sure you banter with her all the time, but it's more of like,
Yeah, we do banter. We do banter, and
but
it's
it's not
fine
like,
because
she's
we
smart,
kind of like
right? She's
yeah
and you're
we argue, and we kind of like try to meet in the middle. I'm talking about these women who are like the like what we talked about before. Like they've already judged you. I mean, this would not just be for women, but also for men. But it's the type of like, oh no, you're this type. I would never get
mm-hmm,
to I would never care to get to know you more, or ask if what I heard like was right. Like for example, all right, this could probably not be like exactly what I'm trying to say here, like or the type of person that I'm trying to describe, but one of the situations I had back in the day when I was still with Killer Bee was that um, a Ripper, right? Our manager Ripper was like talking to somebody on the phone, and I was actually there, and Ripper was just like teasing that person or something, and they were talking, and I was like, "Oh, Iceman's coming up next, right?" So that's what he
mm-hmm,
said, and like, "Oh, Iceman," like, yeah, yeah. And she started saying something about, but he didn't say that I was already in the room.
mm-hmm.
So the girl started like ranting about like, "Oh yeah, that guy who like that person who hates nurses." You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you say
Really?
something like that? Like, do you have any idea how many nurses friends I have?
Where did that
And
come
you
from, though? Where did that stay?
because at some point in my life I said people take nursing as a second course. I was like, because we were like,
It's
like we're
true.
kind of like I think we talked about it. I was like, well, I don't see the point of that. Like, why would you do that? Why if it's what if it's engineering now, then you take up engineering. Like, well, then all of a sudden engineering demand goes down, then um, physical therapy is on the rise. You're gonna take like that's what I'm saying. But then at the end of the day, that's your choice. But I was just like saying I like I'm not, me. I don't. I'm not sold out to the idea of doing that. Me, I'm just like no. I'm like I'm not gonna do that. I'm like no. That's not a no no for me. I mean, if you do something for the wrong reasons, I mean that's for me that's kind of stupid, right? So I think that was supposed to be my opinion, and I didn't say like, "Oh, I hate you people who are nurses right now." I didn't say that. I said people who take up nursing for the wrong reason. You already finished like accounting or whatever, then all of a sudden you started studying nursing for what? Because you just
Dollars.
so
Dollars, baby.
yeah,
Dollars.
dollars, right? So I mean, that's just my opinion. You don't have to listen to me. That's just me talking,
And she
right?
said you
And
hate nurses. Like she
I
generalized
hate.
it.
Yeah, she all of a sudden the story is I hate nurses. I'm like, what? Do you have any idea how many aunts I have who are nurses, and how many friends I have who are nurses right now and like working
And you
abroad?
hate
Guess
all of
what?
them.
My wife's a nurse. All right, that's the
I know, I
thing.
know. Dude, how can you hate a nurse? Like a nurse saved your life. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like when you got hospitalized and stuff. But it's just
I
for
never
her to
say hate
generalize
nurses.
that. I'm
No,
surprised
yeah,
she
I'm
didn't
thinking.
say.
Oh, I
I'm
heard
sure I
that
was
he hates
expecting
her.
she'd
He
say
hates her.
yung DJ na antipatico. What does antipatico mean? By the way, I want to know because I might fit that bill. I'm sure you've heard that many times.
All
Not
right.
necessarily referring to you, but
What is
antipatico. Like,
antipatico in
what's
English?
antipatico? I don't know. Antipatics. Antipatics. What is
Antipatico in English.
antipatico?
All
Are
right,
we
okay, hang
antipatico?
on.
Would you just? Is it obnoxious? Is it I have a feeling it's
Antipathetic.
obnoxious.
It says antipathetic.
That doesn't make sense.
Obnoxious. It means obnoxious.
Obnoxious. Okay, antipatico is obnoxious. Feeling close, right? FC.
FC.
FC. But see, that's the thing. I can be FC, but at the same time, if you're not FC, what are you? Snabero, aloof, feeling sikat, elite, others. So where do you? That's the thing with Filipinos, man. They have a label for everything. You try to be friendly and accommodating and strike a conversation. You're too forward. You're too aggressive. You're obnoxious, feeling close, antipatico. If you keep your distance and kind of wait for somebody to make the approach, or not necessarily like assume that you're welcome in a crowd and just stay in your lane, all of a sudden you're like, ah, there's man na siya, social. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I think FC would be like sleeping over at somebody's house when they're not invited, or entering somebody's room when they're without knocking or something like that, or trying to listen in on a conversation of a group of people that you're not really close friends with, maybe. But if it's just like you're there and you're talking to people, I don't. It's like exclusivity. Joe Boy, we have a question for you, Joe Boy, which we already figured out because Ice researched it, but we want to know if you can answer it in the 5 seconds that you give to us every time you say what's up. What's antipatico in English?
Yeah, what's antipatico in English? Because
This is for the man who's gonna beat cancer. We want to
Rod
know.
and Iceman, antipatico na.
Antipatico?
What? I don't understand that. What's antipatico?
Antipatico. And usually it's a woman who uses that word. I've never heard a guy use that word. I don't think it applies to women. I don't think a woman can be antipatico. I think it's just a guy thing. You know,
No,
it's
but
like
I've heard, like, I've heard the word antipatica, right?
really
So, yeah, I've heard that before, like in movies and shit. So I don't know.
Antipatica.
I mean,
Antipatico.
antipatica ka.
But there's a silver lining to it, because if a girl says you're antipatico and you hear it from a friend or from somebody and antipatico ka man daw, it's kind of like she noticed you, but you're just too strong. You just came on too aggressive or something. Not necessarily like a jerk or an asshole or hambugero, but antipatico, like, but napansin niya. So I think that in itself is already kind of one foot in the door. That's at least how I see it when it comes to the male-female relationship. If a woman notices anything about you, whether it's your, right?
Obnoxious and pleasant.
Unpleasant, obnoxious. Aba, ang galing ah.
Ginugil
Ang
mo.
galing ah. Obvious naman eh. Ginugil mo yan, hindi naman words na hindi mo ginagamit yung mga words na yan, Joe Boy. Kaya lang sinabi unpleasant. That's, did you ever say that to your daughter? Oh, it's so unpleasant here. Come on. Guys don't use that word. Obnoxious. See, obnoxious is like, usually it's like a guy word, you know? Obnoxious usually describes a guy. I think I'm obnoxious, but I think I'm more of
I
like
am
just an
obnoxious.
extrovert.
I can be obnoxious.
We're both. But the problem with you is you stir the pot. Like if you feel like you're getting somebody's nerves, you kind of stir that pot. I'm more of like, I'm a warrior, like Mao, you know? Mao's like, dude.
But here's the thing: I
asshole
only
ba
do
ako?
that when I meet that person for the first time, and she starts showing some attitude. I'm like, all right, fine, we're here already.
She
so
likes you.
I'm just gonna I'm gonna stir the pot because I mean, I'm not gonna see you ever again. I mean, if you really actually hate me, then we're not gonna see each other again.
Might as well leave a mark. Might as well leave a mark.
Exactly. Make it worth my while. You know what I'm saying?
The ice,
Like, all right.
the Iceman way.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. That's the Iceman way. That's how I roll, man. I mean, I'm gonna stir the pot. Like,
Yeah, you stir the
if I
pot,
meet you
dude.
the
That's
first time and you show me some attitude, I'm like, fuck that. I mean, you're not the only one who has an attitude. All right, you show me an attitude, I'm gonna show you some attitude as well.
Yeah,
And
you
let's
got
see
guts,
who,
man. I'm telling you.
itong talo. That's how I roll, right? So these guys who
yeah.
are like who tries to start a word war or whatever, and then I say something and they get they get pissed off, and I'm like, dude, you started it, you know. So I mean, all these troubles I had with back in the day, when I was still in radio. I didn't start it. I didn't start all of those. I heard things from people. Then I said something back and they got pissed. I mean,
Yeah.
what the heck? You said it first. I didn't say anything about you guys. I never cared about other people. I don't care about. I'm very selfish. I only care about myself. So I don't care about other
that's
people.
fine.
And yeah, I know that's what I'm saying. Like I'm so self-centered that I don't like. I mean, in a way, right? I'm not self-centered, but in a way, in terms of how I did radio, I was self-centered that I didn't really care about other people. I mean, if they do a good show, fine, that's really nice. If they do a bad show, I mean, that's on them.
You
That's
just
not- that's
you
not-
you do you. You just do you.
Yeah,
But-
I do.
but-
Me, it's not
but
my
here's the
show.
thing.
I don't care about it.
But here's the thing, like, for example, whatever it is, however it is you carried yourself on air, or whoever it is who does ad libs or is like a radio personality, not everybody found you offensive. Not everybody you struck a wrong chord with. Like, I heard you. You competed with me. We were on the same time slot. And I would hear you at the restaurant right below our radio station. They don't even listen to us. We're in the same building. And I'm doing the same format show. And I would hear you. Yet I never for once, like, tried to find out who this guy is or said some shit about you. You've never heard me say shit about you.
Cared. I mean,
No,
you'd probably listen to like you probably heard me and you'd be like,
I'm
"Alright,
open-minded,
doing this
dude.
thing." Yeah,
I'm
like,
open-minded. You know what I'm
he didn't really
saying?
care.
There's no
You'd probably be like,
exclusivity.
"All right, I don't know this guy. He's talking, right? Whatever, right?" So that's
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
but for some people, they'd be like, "Who is this guy?" Then they start like trying to unpack things, and they'd start.
There's
judging
no
or whatever.
exclusivity to confidence, right? You were just confident.
I was just
And
I was just confident in so
and
many
they
things.
thought they had to knight you. They had to pass on this title to you that, okay, only when they say so can you be confident. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just go in there and just be confident. But you were,
They
and
start
that
to
ticked them
Google.
up.
Here's the thing. Back in the day, I was like, I could never do what these guys can. I know my limitations, and these guys were good production people, right? And that, me up to now, I'm like, I can't do that. I can't do that shit. I don't have the patience for that shit. I'm too lazy.
It's not
to do
your
that.
thing. It's not
I
your
don't want to
thing.
learn it anyway, because that's not my strong points. My strong points are like in the, like the social aspect of like of the job.
Spontaneous, like
Like, yeah,
spontaneous. You know,
spontaneity. It's like being impromptu and being free or whatever. And yeah, I mean, I like talking to people. I like going out there. I would like to be in the crowd. I like getting involved with like events and shit. So I didn't mind that, and those were my strong
does
points.
it matter if it's ladies or guys that
No,
you
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I mean,
really
guys,
like?
ladies, it doesn't matter. I mean,
Oh man,
it would always be something like, because here's my I understood what kind of industry I was in. I mean, it's about people. It doesn't have to be a woman or a guy. I mean, it's people. Men, women, gay, lesbians. I don't care, right? I'm very good friends with Marvin, right? I mean, he's gay. I wasn't. Yeah, I didn't discriminate. I was very close to him,
you were
and
even you were even rumored and stuff, and you didn't care.
yeah, I mean, okay, here's the thing. That friend of mine would like treat me to lunch or whatever, and he's a very nice guy because I was at a point in my life where it wasn't really the ideal of like the situation financially at that time. I wasn't in
Mm-hmm.
that ideal financial situation. And he was always there. He'd be like, "Hey, Ice, I have some extra money. Do you want to have lunch?" I'm like, "Oh, really?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, sure, all right." And so even if at times like he doesn't even have a lot of money, he'd be like, "All right, I can buy you lunch, but only at this place." And I'm like, "All right, I'm not choosy. I'm fine." Then we would eat and we would like talk, and there would be times that some of his friends would see me with him, and they'd be like, "Marv's, that's Iceman, right? Like, are you
Boylet,
involved with him? Is he your
boylet,
boyfriend?" And he would
boylet.
never say no. He would just like smile, and he would come back to me and say that to my face, like, "Oh, they just asked me if you're my boyfriend. What did you say?" I'm like, "I just smiled." What? Why can't you say no? I'm like, "Oh, come on, let me have it." I'm like, "All right, whatever." Right? I didn't even get mad at him for like for doing that or something. I was like, "All right, fine."
Of course,
So
a
I
free
think
meal is a free meal. What are you talking about?
right. I mean, I didn't care what those people would think if I was actually Marvin's boyfriend. Oh, I know, like I'm his friend, right? If they think like, oh, we're like, yeah, you know what? Who cares? Who cares, right? Like, who cares what
Yeah.
they think? I mean, Marvin's my friend, so like if he did that, like one time,
It-
even my auntie was shocked because we met in Manila, and Marvin started like putting his arms around me and we were walking. Like that's the way he is, even when we were
yeah,
hanging out.
yeah, yeah.
And my wife was with my auntie, and my auntie was like, "Who's that guy?" And then my wife said, like, "Well, actually, that's his real sweetheart." And my auntie was like, "What?" My auntie was kind of like old school that way. And I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
"No, that's his friend. Like they're good friends." So my auntie was like, "That's a gay guy, right?" Like, yeah, why is he like, no, I mean, he even calls my mom and dad, mama and papa. Like if they see them, hi ma, hi pa,
Okay.
and
Well,
my
what's
parents
his
just
term
like
of
laugh.
endearment for you?
Um, no, he just called me Koi. He just called me Koi.
Okay. Because
Like
he
he
calls
never
me
calls.
daddy. Like,
Yeah, he calls you that.
because
He
I guess
calls
because I'm
you.
old, And I guess when I kind of met my wifey to be, I was always like kind of treating them out or something. So I was like a sugar daddy or something. I don't
Probably.
know.
No, he
That's
just
probably
called
where
me.
it came
He
from.
just called me Koy. Sometimes he would call me like best man. Like he would call me best man. He'd call me best man.
Best men.
Yeah, yeah, he would call me best man. Like sort of like, oh, you're the best or whatever. But I'm like, all right, whatever. I mean, it's probably like a sort of tease. I mean, it has to do something with radio. Because like
Okay,
you know that
got it.
he ended up working for the other radio station, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
He was actually a member of that particular like organization. So it was just like, and we were like, we were cool. And he would call me best man because I was like, you know what? I don't care. Like I don't care who's on your team or whatever. Like me, I do me. That's what like we do us. Like when we did our radio show, we
Yeah,
did
yeah,
us.
yeah. We did.
You
We
know?
were lucky that we were actually given that opportunity. I mean, you know what? At the end of the day, if we followed a particular like guideline or concept, or someone else kind of forced their own concept down our throats, and we were just to deliver it for them, it would have been miserable. It would have made us miserable, and it would not have worked. At least with this one, if it was chaos in some ways, or for some people, it wasn't as tight, or it wasn't the typical, you know, uh, format for a radio show or whatnot. It At least somebody benefited from it. Mainly us as the host and those who appreciated the show, because it's like you love it or you hate it kind of thing with what we had. And I think that's how we are as people. It's like either you love us or you hate us, right?
Yeah, pretty
It's
much.
either you
Pretty
you
much.
get us or you don't.
Yeah.
And I feel that right away. Like I feel that right away. Whenever, like for example, if I'm courting a girl and I meet her friends for the first time and they're in a room, or they invite me and I'm there and I start talking, and all of a sudden I feel like they're distancing themselves, or it's like I'm coming off too strong or too calm, whatever. I get it. This is not the approach that her friends want, but I'm trying to please her, not her friends. It's the same thing. It's the same impression that my other classmates got from Milky when we first met Milky, because the late Milky, my friend and classmate back
He
in
was
college,
pretty quiet, right?
he's older. No, he's older by like 2 or 3 years. So he was like from ADM, and then he came to Davao. He ditched ADM, came to Davao, and joined our class. So he was like behind by a couple of years, but he was the smartest in class. So he was like trying to bully everybody because he's from ADM and he's like a couple of years older. He's from Ateneo here, so he knew a lot of people, and he would like sit on the desk and just like talk to everybody confidently. And some of our classmates were kind of intimidated by that because they were young and they didn't see it. Like this guy is not really bullying people. He's just that he's older. He knows he's dealing with kids practically, and it's just how his personality is. So when I met him the first time, I never thought for once that he was like arrogant or he was a jerk or he was, like antipatico or whatever terms people may use. But to some of my classmates, especially the female ones, they were like, "Sino yan? Yabang," like sits on the desk and whatnot. And I'm like, you know what? He knows everybody in the BA department. He knows
Sino yan?
everybody.
A guy who doesn't have a chair in their house. Like it's all desks, so they sit on the desk. Like I would have like said that.
Sino yan? Karaang damang. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's karaang damang. That's basically
And
it.
first time I've seen Milky because he was courting this chick.
Yeah,
from
yeah, I
my-
know. Starts with an
from
A.
my
Starts
class.
with an A, right? Starts with
Yeah.
an A. Yeah, he gave her a perfume too. I bought that
And
with
it was
her.
like,
With
all
him.
right, who's this guy? Wow, like, this guy's old. Like, I mean, that was my impression, and I think he was like, 'cause he's actually older than I am. So we're like, oh, like who's this old guy? Like, all right. So he was, he looked like he was really quiet because he was just like really quiet when he was courting
No,
that chick.
he was pretending.
And-
Serious effect, like
I think so, yeah.
trying to be like,
That's
no.
the first time I actually saw him, and so his face is really familiar. So when I ended up like seeing him,
Did you court the
um,
chick?
no, I didn't. Like,
Were you
no, I
friends with
mean-
that chick?
No, because she's from the BA division, and my wife was at with the BA division at that time. So you kind of like know everybody who's got I mean who's gotten looks.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I like that particular girl wasn't really my type.
Yeah, she was kind of like chai chai, right? Her hair's like this, and she was kind of like
Yeah,
right.
she like her boobs were coming out, but it was more of like her posture. I don't think she really had like big boobs, but I mean, people would say like, "Oh, she had big boobs." I'm like, I don't really like. I think it's just her
You know what,
posture. I
dude? You
think she had,
contradict
yeah.
yourself so much on so many levels. I don't want to objectify women. I don't want to do this part.
No,
And like
she's not
all of
an
a sudden, you're
athlete.
like, we're
What are you
talking about
talking?
this girl. And you're talking about her boobs.
We're talking about women athletes, right? And like that woman was no athlete. She was like a woman. Like I objectify a lot of like
Yeah, but she's
dude.
not a walking boob. You know what I'm saying?
And no, I mean I'm talking about like what people say because they were like, "Oh, that girl has like really huge boobs." So, like I don't see it. Like I think it's her posture. I don't think she has good. I think she has big
But you know
boobs.
what? See, here's the thing. Like, I didn't know Milky that well. Like, met him a couple of times because he wasn't in all our classes because he was a regular sked, obviously. And I was able to like throw a joke his way, and I knew he wasn't gonna get pissed because we're almost the same age. I'm like maybe a year younger only, and I saw him with that girl, and I think he was waiting for a taxi with her, trying to be the gentlemanly guy by Alamar's, by the CM Recto gate.
Right.
And I was in Carlos' car with another friend of ours then, and I was in the front seat, and I go, Carl, tabi mo, sigawan ko si Milky. I roll down the window of Carlos RAV4, and I yell out at Milky, I go, Milks! Balik mo yung trosit ko ha! Gumaling na yung bunyi mo, bay! Because that was that time when Trosid was like on TV all the time, that commercial
Yeah.
for like the
People
fungal
say,
infection.
"Hindi na
Yeah, I'm like, Milk, balik mo yung Trosid ko ha! Gumaling na yung-" And I yelled at him. Milky was like, the girl was like looking at him because, like a fungal infection would be contagious, right? I yelled it out, and there are a lot of people waiting for a taxi or a Jeep. And maybe for some people, if you did that to somebody and you weren't confident enough to pull off like an insult, like, because he was courting the girl, and I basically threw him under the bus, that he might have gotten pissed off, or he might not have turned out funny, or he might not have taken it that way. But I knew because, like I said, I'm a little bit just like a year younger than him, and when I did that, Carlo was like so worried that Milky might be pissed off because he's way older and he might have gotten offended. And he was courting the girl, and I'm like, come on, right? If your friend is courting a girl and he's serious. I'm not saying guys are not serious when they court a girl, but there are guys who do court because they're serious and they're really looking for somebody to kind of hopefully plan the future with. And there are guys who court for fun. Maybe she's cute. Basically, these are the guys that if he gets dumped, he doesn't get hurt. He'll move on to plan B. Call us
Yeah, we
whatever
do
you
that
want.
all the time.
Right?
My friends do that all the time. Like it doesn't matter who you're with. It doesn't matter if you're serious or not. They would like play. They would
I
play that
know.
joke.
I know,
Right?
but
So,
not to somebody like older and like, you barely see, he's from out of town, he's like from a
but you
big
were
school or
already
what.
friends, right? But you were already friends.
We haven't like really hung out. It was after that. I think it was after that. I think it was like maybe he figured, okay, these guys are kind of different. These guys are, their humor is on my
I think
level.
you'd say that if you're not. I mean, if you haven't really like
I don't know.
known each other for.
I kind of just got him. It's like same thing with Billy Kane. It's like some people see Billy Kane, they think he's a doctor or some executive crap, and I saw right through him. And I met him. I met him like at a born again Christian church, and he was like, he looked like a pastor and stuff, and I was, my usual rugged self. And we met each other, and we weren't radio, buddies yet, and he would have that smirk on his face, and I would have that smirk in my face, and we were kind of like. Like with you, it took a while because with you, we didn't really have a lot of, we didn't have plenty of opportunities to hang out early years of radio because you had your tropa and I kind of had mine. And, I was hanging out more with Billy Kane and Mao. But now, right after the radio show, I think it was our partnership during the show. That's how we discovered a lot of things about each other. Right?
So yeah,
That's how it ended up becoming like maninong of my kid because that was when we really got to know each other because we didn't really like
dude, you have
hang
no
out.
choice to introduce you to your wife. What are you talking about?
No, no, no. We were already kind of.
Your wife through me. Yeah, we're already hanging out.
That's
But
no. But that wasn't why I made you the ninong though. That wasn't that's the.
Yeah, but we were not even partners.
You would
yet
have
when I
been.
introduced. Remember?
Oh yeah, we weren't.
didn't
We
do
were
the
like
show
we
yet,
just
but
had like little
we
5-minute
introduced you to
chit
your
chats before I would leave you.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right. You're
we weren't
right.
really close friends, but
No, no,
we it was
no.
more of like we were okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Because we have like
You're right.
because I see your friends and you see my friends. We see each other during the parties. We didn't even have a problem. It was like, all right, hey, yeah, we're
Right.
cool. We're all cool. So I mean, there was
Yeah,
that,
I even asked you
that
permission,
relationship building.
right? Like I asked you
Yeah, I was
permission.
like,
Can I make the move?
yeah,
And and the
sure.
funny thing is, I don't know if you were aware of my relationship status or situation back then, because you also knew my ex, who
Right,
at that
but I didn't really
time
care. I was like,
was
all right, cool.
probably, I don't know what our status was back then,
I
but
didn't
you know
really
what I
know
mean.
what their
Were you
intentions were, but it was like, all right, whatever,
were
sure.
you not worried about, like, because Marvin's your friend, and then my wife Irish is your friend too, and then baka
Yeah, but
mapamak sa akin because you kind of knew that I kind of like
still,
had
I'm
this.
like, I'm in the mindset of, all right,
I
Marvin's old
respected that
enough,
about you, dude. You didn't.
and
You didn't.
and and I think Bag's like old enough to know her, like to make her own decisions. So I cannot like just like I can't play that. See, I don't roll that way. I'm saying like, hey man, that's my
That's what
friend.
I like about
Like,
you, man.
I'm like, it's like, all right, sure, like I mean, yeah, what's I don't think there's a problem,
But didn't
and
you get in
whatever happened,
trouble with friends because of how you are like that? Like you don't really interfere with other people's. Right? Didn't you
yeah, I mean,
mention that there was one time you mentioned something and you didn't think about it, but it's like that house was like they were like doing stuff in that house and you like blurted it out or something, and like the girl hated you for it or something.
I know. It's just like crazy, but I'm like, well, it's not really my fault. I mean, I can't make all the decisions for other people. So it was like, all right, cool, and they know what they're getting into, and like I'm out of it. So it was that. Yeah, I mean, if you recall that we weren't partners yet, but then we
Yes,
will
right.
be with we will be at parties together, and I would see Brando, then you would see Yoda, and like would be in one group, and there wasn't any problem or anything
That's
because your
right.
friends are cool, my friends
I
are cool.
clicked
I
with your
mean,
friends. I mean, like I would see
yeah, I mean,
King and just King, and we would hang out like we were
yeah,
friends.
I know, because I think for the most part we're like on the same wavelength. Like
Yeah.
the people you hang out with and the people that I hang out with, like even Kmart,
No, no, no.
Kmart is
Some of my
really
friends
like,
are more choy choy. Like the Bakaka boys are choy choy, but like
dude,
the
I have
Datineo
fun.
ones probably not. I don't know.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. You have those types of friends, and I have those types of friends too. I mean, Yoda's that one, but then I have other friends too who are like choi choi, like hardcore choi choi as well. Like, right? I mean, the
Like the
ones
Midland boys,
that Midland boys and that
Obrero boys.
person, that person that I had a falling out with, he was like notorious, like, right? So
Okay,
I mean, he was crazy, crazy, and then I would be like, he has his other friends as well, was from that side of like the fence, and I would hang out with them. So it's like more of like our personalities, you per se, are like
got
we
it.
have like the same wavelength. So
We're
that's why
sort of
we
like the
got
in
along
between, right? We're like the in
exactly,
between.
right? And
Got it. Got
then
it.
Joe's like like Joe is also like a well balanced guy. Like pretty much everybody's well balanced. I would have to say like it's like Chuck tries, but I think he's like as well balanced as like
Chuck is
as
just not consistent.
right. I mean
Depends on the
we're
crowd and who's around. He
exactly
becomes different. You know what I'm saying?
we're exposed to both sides of the fence. So we're like, okay, Chuck, I don't blame him because he's like, and like, yeah, Chuck is more of like the social side, and he tries his best to be like, but he's not that guy. You know what I'm saying?
No,
And
he's
it
not.
and it
No.
and it's it and there's nothing wrong with that, right? But he tries, but like, dude, no, you know what? That's not who you do. You, it's fine, all right? So it doesn't even matter.
Got it.
Because he'd be like, no, 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 like, why? And he would try to speak, dude, don't speak Bisaya. Like, you can't speak Bisaya, like,
No,
right?
but my worry about that. Well, not worry for myself, but my worry for you was like, they met me or she met me through you, and I
Right,
mean, there's an age gap there. She just graduated, and we've been around. I mean,
dude, she was
it's
already
like
20. That's like old, like that's like
that's true.
she's past 18. She's an adult, right? She
Yeah.
can
No, no,
choose whoever
but you
to
had
hang
prior
out with.
knowledge though of kind of like my situation. I mean, I don't think you were thinking, okay, I'm like bachelor of the year here, super. This guy's super eligible and all that crap. Because
Well,
I don't. I
it
mean,
probably helped that I didn't like your ex girlfriend. That
okay, there you
probably helped.
go.
So it probably helped a lot
That's
that
what
I
I
didn't
wanted to
like
hear.
her.
That's what I
It
wanted to hear.
probably helped a lot that I didn't like her. So I was like,
See,
all right,
because
sure.
if you had any concern or like worry that, okay, hold on, I'm introducing this chick to this guy who supposedly is in a relationship with somebody I know, or maybe they're, well, they're shaky or whatever, but still there's no confirmation. Why not? And the other one, of course,
But
there's no
I
con.
kind of like thought that you were gonna like,
But it was meant to be.
yeah,
It
I
was
think
meant
you
to
were
be.
gonna. In my head, at least, I was like, "Yeah, it's not gonna work out with you and that person, and I didn't really like her. And then Bags was like, all right, Bags is, like she's a cool chick, and
Did you
most
see anything in
likely,
me that you were thinking I was gonna be like serious about it, or you thought, okay, this guy's probably just gonna, wham bam, thank you, ma'am, or something, or were you
probably
like,
not. No, because I know that you were like the girlfriend type, so
okay,
I'm pretty
all
sure that
right,
you're gonna have a relationship with her. If something doesn't
if
work
she
out,
liked
then
me back, yeah, if she
yeah,
liked me back,
I mean, if something doesn't work out, then it's like it didn't work out.
got
But
it.
it's not because you were just fooling around or whatever. Because I know you're like the girlfriend guy, right? And Bag's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
the type that you would just like fool around with, right? I mean, they're like I'm not saying that they're like I mean, you know what I'm saying? They're like women or like who would I don't know. I mean, see, I'm getting
Mga
myself in
warrior,
trouble, but
mga warrior, mga warrior.
so yeah, I mean, she's not that type. Like she's the
Hey,
type that
Starksy up, what's up, man?
you start a relationship with. Hey,
Yeah,
Starks. All right.
I get you, I get you. All right, so
So yeah, so that's
anyways,
why I wasn't worried. That's why I wasn't worried.
yeah, so
You
I
know,
really, it's radio that created this friendship. It's radio, because I mean, even though we do see each other, you've always been kind of like you're. In fact, like whenever I see you and your friends, it's like I'm more like your friends are less shielded. Like you're more kind of guarded. I don't know, maybe because you weren't too sure how we would be or towards like I don't know, man. I don't know if it's your friends that you're more concerned about or us you're concerned about because you're kind of like that's how it was in radio. We had our outside of radio friends and we had our of course our radio fraternity. And the difference with Kilo B was that we really genuinely became friends. We were, and I've never had that with any of my radio, involvement. Killaby was like the first time I actually really had a group of friends and lifelong friends, lifetime friends. Where I would still keep in touch. I would still see them, like Mao and Joe. We still hang out at a bar. It's like nothing happened. We weren't there for work. We weren't there because we were forced to. We were there because we wanted each other's company. Same with you. I'm not here doing the show for 2 hours. You're not here staying up late, even though you have a commitment or work tomorrow, because you have to do it or you're getting paid for it. It's like maybe you might get something out of it. I mean, I appreciate the fact that that it's me, but it's vice versa. I'm also getting something out of you, and I think at the end of the day, that's the difference with this friendship. Because with Joe, I met him already before, and with Joe, it was more of like we just clicked on the same stuff. We did skimboarding together. We played PlayStation together. We played NBA 2K together before I go on my board work. So we had common activities. With you, we didn't. With you, we didn't.
no,
You were
you like
like
to talk.
you were going to that
I
church next to the station. You were like hanging out with like these pretty girls, like Tuti and all that bunch. I'm like, man, this guy's got like pretty friends.
no, but we clicked
I
pretty
couldn't.
early too. But I already noticed it because like when I stay like 5 minutes after my board work and we chat, it's like like that 5 minutes like golden. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like all
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, but I don't know how you take it though, cause like you see me with Chuck and I'm like English speaking, and then like as I'm with you, like I Bisaya, so you're like, "Suy, style ani." But you're like that
No,
too,
no,
right?
no,
But you're like
because
that
like
too, right?
I'm that way.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I
yeah.
could
Okay,
do
okay,
that.
got it, got it.
Right? So I
Okay.
kind of like
You know what I'm saying?
I
Is like,
I found out that okay, this guy's like pretty well balanced. So he's like sabay sa tama. So and that's
yeah,
me. Like
yeah.
I mean,
If I could hang out
right?
with
So I was
Nixon, dude, I could hang out with anyone. You know what I'm saying?
no, not like so you're like pretty much like Joe and me and Joe. We were like like we were.
Yeah, I think
I would
you and
say
Joe were the closest first. Like in that fraternity, it was you and Joe.
so we were
I think
together
you're closest.
at
Oh
Tower
yeah, that's
93
right.
and we were
Wally
okay, right?
Brown. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, he was Wally
I'm
Brown. Then
closest to Billy Kane and Mao because Mao was in UR before and I met
right,
him and I hung out with him at Lava Rock before. So those two guys I knew already. You were the
right,
newbie, but
right.
you and Gabby were like for me the trim and proper ones because you don't drink. I'm like these guys are like the good guys. The
I don't
salvajes
drink.
are like,
I don't drink because, but that I
no.
mean, yeah,
No, I
it's
didn't. See, I didn't know we didn't hang out yet. I would always just see you walk in and you'd like bring a Bible or something, or you attend that church next. So I was like, dude, this guy's a preppy. this guy's a yuppie. This guy's a smarty pants. And when you do your show and your choice of music, you didn't listen to like heavy metal stuff or rock, whatever you're like R&B, and you hang out with your preppy friends, and you hang out like at these hangouts in Ateneo where they serve like cheese sticks and whatever. And I'm like a Helen's guy who would drink ding dong, but I also hang out with that crowd. But
I
it's
was a
more
Helen's
because
guy.
I have an
Yoda
agenda.
was a Helen's guy. So that's the thing. See, He- Yoda was a Helen's guy,
There you.
and he
Oh yeah,
became
that's
your best
right.
friend. He's
That's
a
right.
Helen's
That's
guy,
okay. So now, okay, I get it. I get it. Okay, okay.
right? He,
All right,
he
all right.
would
That's
come.
true. That's true.
He would come to class
He's a
drunk.
raging alcoholic, and you don't drink, and you're best friends.
We're
That's
best
right. That's
friends.
right.
Like he
Yeah,
would
come
come
to
to
think of it,
school and
that's
he's like
true.
drunk, and and like flip mode wasn't
How did
even in
that
his
work,
room.
though? How can you be best friends with somebody who doesn't drink, and yet
Okay,
you drink? Like, what? He
first time
drinks
I
by
met
himself, and you just sit there
first
and you
time I
watch him?
met that guy, I didn't I didn't
How
hate
does
him, but
that
I didn't.
work?
It wasn't like I didn't hate him. I didn't like him. You know what I'm saying? I was indifferent when I first met that guy. I was just
Hold
like
on, before
looking
you
at him
continue.
like,
Happy birthday to Ivory May Sales Ibiang. It's Maring
oh,
Ibiang. It's her
Ivy, happy birthday,
birthday.
Ivy. Birthday.
That's why there's
All right.
nobody here. My whole family is at her house.
You're so free. That's why.
Yeah, you know what? That's right. I'm no Diego to
Yeah,
like, Papa, I want to talk.
I'm like so quiet. I was like,
That's
what's
why I
happening?
did the show tonight. That's why I
Yeah,
messaged you
because I didn't
earlier. I'm like, I
realize,
gotta do the show tonight. We
yeah.
gotta do the show tonight. The other
Okay,
nights,
okay.
it's like crazy here. But anyways, go ahead. Continue. Continue.
All right. So I didn't hate him, but I didn't like him, and he was kind of like sort of annoying when he's drunk. So I was like, and we were like in second year. It was like what, like 13 or 14, and it was already drunk in class. And I think the very first time that we started hanging out was by accident, and it was him and Eric, and I don't even remember how it really
And
started. We
Eric
just
drinks,
became close.
right?
Eric drinks, right? But he can't really drink that hard because he's allergic to, I think,
Okay.
gin or whatever. He would be
So
like
he
so
only
ready to
looks
drink.
like so he only looks like he drinks a lot, but
Yeah, but he's not. I mean, he doesn't.
palahubog porma pero dili pala.
Yeah. So then I think we really got close right after that Francis M concert, right? And we got closer as a lot of people questioned my affiliation with them because I was like the smarty pants in high school, and they were like, "Why are you friends with these guys?
Mga
These
chuy-chuy,
guys
yeah.
are bugoy and chocho." It's like, yeah, I mean, what's wrong with that? I mean, like we're friends. It's not like if I mean, it's one of the reasons why they don't cut class anymore. It was more of like, I was like sort of the influence that would, all right, okay, I think he's cool. I would help them with their homework and whatnot, and it made them probably stay in school.
They befriended
And
the wrong brother. They should have befriended Aldon.
well, but here's the thing. Well, they became friends with my brothers as well. So what I liked about Yoda was that he knows my concern, and every time like there's like something's going down, Yoda would look after my brother. He would like he would
He's
advise him,
protective.
yeah, like you know what, do as your brother tells you, right? But then that other guy who like I had a falling out with, he would like try to pull him in. He would like, no, it's just, it's fine. But then Yoda would be like, no, 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 like, dude, you cannot give our friend stress. Like he's already stressed as it is, and if like if his brother gets into another trouble or whatever, like I think like it's good for him. So he would always try to really at least secure my brother first. Leave us, whatever, like go home. We're about to do something really whatever, like obnoxious, so don't come with us. And that's what I appreciated about him. And we became like really good friends. And like, yeah, like he drinks. He did a lot of things that I didn't do, but I didn't judge him for that. And I certainly don't like judge people who do those things. I'm like, all right, like you just can't bring me in that sort of like activity. I can't. So that's what I
But
hated when he.
he had one common vice. The
Yeah, exactly.
ladies. The
Yeah,
ladies.
ladies, right? So
And you were
those
both kind
ladies,
of like fashion forward, right? You were both,
we kind of like fashion, yes.
it's not like you were wearing something else, he was wearing something else. You both kind of
So
like,
so when I met you, you were in that spectrum. Yeah, you're like
I was more like
fashion.
Joe. I was like dressing like
Yeah,
Joe, right? Right? We
yeah,
were
yeah,
we were
yeah.
buying this like okay okay stuff at US
Yeah,
Goods and
because we would
stuff.
know all these things. We would talk about brands and shit, and I'm like, oh, you know your stuff, like you know your business. I'm like, all right, this guy, and you've been to like you lived in the States and you lived in Europe and shit. So I'm like, all right. So it was, yeah, we were actually already like, how would you say that? Like every time we're like together, there's no conflict. nothing whatsoever.
No,
Like
no.
the conversation's always smooth. So I was like, all right. So it was sort of more of like, because you had friends too, and I had friends as well. So we couldn't hang out because I mean, yeah, we have our own friends. But then time came when like we had those parties and shit, and we started like having people come over to the station, and we
And
have
you were
like
busy,
these.
dude. You had like another job.
Yeah, I had
You,
another
like,
job. Yeah, that's true.
you have another job, and you have a commitment to your family. You know what I'm saying? Plus, you have a long distance relationship. I mean,
But I
it's
think it all started when Joe was having problems. I think we started hanging out together because of that.
yeah.
When
Joe was
Joe was
like all of a sudden had so much free time. I mean, this is a
exactly.
guy who was always sheltered and was like live in a living in situation, and all of a sudden, he's like he had so much free time. Like, what
Right?
are we gonna do?
So
So
I
he was like.
remember. I think I
He
remember
would
that
always hang out in the booth. He would like just hang out in the booth and just like wait
because
around and stuff.
we played basketball and we would like go to that place near
That's
Limsa
right.
Hospital,
That's
right?
right. That's
And we
right.
started
That's right.
drinking, and then Chuck would be there because I think
That's
that was the
right.
time when Joe was slowly having problems, and I did have problems too. So it all kind of worked out, and you were having problems as well. So
Yeah,
all of
yeah,
you
yeah,
having
yeah, yeah.
problems, we
Yeah,
all bonded together because of that.
that's true. It's an escape.
Yeah, it was a sort of
Yeah.
escape that like developed like friendship with
No
everybody.
more
So
chicks.
Joe,
Kelots na kelots.
right? So and like they would like ask me like Yoda would be like, "Where you at?" Like, "Oh, I'm with Rod and whatever." Like, "All right, sure." And then he would know like, "All right, so he's hanging out with them." Then like from time to time, Yoda would come show up, and like then we all started hanging out. Then Brando came along. Then my friends would like Yoda would know Brando, and like everybody
Yeah.
knows each other, and we're like next thing you know we're all at Barbecue Boss.
Yeah. That's
So
right.
I
That's
mean,
right.
it's like sort of that thing that just happened.
And nobody was trying to step over the other. You know, at the end of
No,
the
no, no,
day,
no, no, no.
that was the main thing. It was
Yeah,
like that's
it was
why I
like a
had to
friend.
ask your permission. That's why I had to I had to say something before I made the move because like okay, hold on. Cuz like I mean, I know you have a lot of pretty friends, but I never made a move on any of your other pretty friends. Like I didn't make a move on AG. I didn't make a move on all your other pretty friends. But this one is different, and I don't know why. It's just like like what my dad said. Raj had to be born, and for some reason he was like this one. I was like, were you already involved with somebody then? Besides your long distance, I think you were free at the time, right? Were you like a free man at the time?
When was this?
Or
2000.
were you seeing the was it Pag-ibig chick or was it Pag-ibig Feel Health whatever?
Phil. I think I was
Were
seeing that
you
because I think
okay, so that's probably why I was like this guy can't have too many girls and he can spare some, so that's why I asked because I kind of knew you were like you would you would you would kind of entertain everyone, but you wouldn't strike at everyone. You're not the type,
no, 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 no,
right?
no.
So I was like, okay,
That
is
was
she one of those that you would be like friends with? And I think you found out you're like the same, like her Lola's Lucero or something. So you're kind of like backed
right.
up a little bit with that because you found out that, she's a Lucero too.
We're sort of related. We're sort of related.
Yeah, yeah. So
I
I'm like,
am
okay,
sort of
good,
related.
good. Better make
So
the move. And anyways, so yeah, now you know, people. Okay, hold on. What was this episode? This was like catching up.
catching up everything.
Dude, hold on. Next episode, which will be when? Let's have a
Uh,
particular discussion, man. Let's talk
Saturday.
about
Saturday.
what was I gonna talk
Do you have a
about?
gig on Saturday?
No, I have no gig on
All right, okay.
Saturday.
All right. Then let's do Saturday.
I'm good. This will be my gig. Yeah, let's have something. Let's have like I don't know. Let's have a particular discussion, like a poll or something, where we'll post it and let's get back on the saddle. We haven't been on the saddle for a while. And a good half of this episode, we're talking about Japanese volleyball players. Dude,
Valley
dude,
Bells. All
dude,
right.
you should see my desktop. I have like 50 screenshots of Japanese volleyball players. It's just you click one, you're like, oh my god, just keep two. And I'm like saving all these freaking pictures with their names on it because Japanese names are so hard to memorize.
Right.
But anyways, all right. What's the point? We appreciate beauty. There's nothing wrong with that. You appreciate the playing skills. What's wrong with that?
That's
So,
true. Yeah.
all right, all
All right.
right.
So what's the poll for Saturday? What we're going to talk about?
As usual, dude, we planned this shit out and we're excited about it. Saturday evening, we'll be like, bye, pwede.
Monday na lang. Sabog yung hilak na bunisa. Dude, you know what? Okay,
Ipaak sa ring, may
snow
galaw
last Saturday. Like last Saturday, Snow ate like a cookie with a
What?
nut, and
Oh, she's allergic?
he's allergic to nuts.
Is he
And
G6PD?
dude, but the thing was like, um, she has nut allergies, and before it already happened that she would throw up. You know, like the pattern would be like, like throw up 2 times, and but it hasn't happened for like years now. So accidentally there was this lady who I played with and was giving away snacks,
Okay.
and it looked like it didn't have nuts, but it
Okay.
actually had nuts. And I was like talking to my friend,
Crap.
like who I work with and I played with now on Saturdays, and I was like, Snow was bugging me like, can I eat it? I was like, all right, fine, just eat it. Like it doesn't have nuts, right? I'm like, no, but then it turned out that it had nuts. So when we were in the car, she started complaining. Then by the time we got here, she started throwing up, but she hadn't had dinner yet, so it was just all liquid. After dinner, she threw up again while we were in the bath, and she threw up everything. Then by the time she was about to go to bed, the hives were coming out, so we were all panicking. We ended up going to the hospital at 3 o'clock, only to like not really go through it because when we checked out her like her body, it was like because she was like asleep the whole time. So when we got to the hospital, when we checked her body, the hives were gone, and she was like, "No, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm good." So we were like, "All right." There was that scare. Then when we went to the doctor on Tuesday, the doctor was like, "Oh, that was pretty. That was pretty dangerous." So they ran another like set of tests for allergies. So we're gonna find out next week, like the extent of her allergy um, towards nuts.
Mm-hmm.
So all right, but yeah, but that was a scare. So it
Dang.
was like sort of
All right. So
yeah
I guess it was you good that we didn't have that
yeah
episode.
it was crazy. So right, so that's what I'm saying. Like things happen when you have responsibilities
Oh,
and
let's
shit.
not plan
You
anything
never
then.
know. No, no, no. Like, yeah. I mean, the Saturdays, like, it should be fine. That was like that was sort of like an accident. That I was like, I wasn't paying attention. My wife was really mad at me, and she was like, "You didn't know they like." Cause she was like, "All right, I'll taste the freaking cookie," and I was like, "I don't think there's nuts." Then my wife took a bite. Are you crazy? It has
Dude,
nuts. You can't. You
dude.
don't know what.
I got the same crap. Like Raj didn't do his homework or something, and I'm like all of a sudden I got blamed because I let my kid play PS5 on weekdays. I'm like shit. Anyway,
Yeah, but all right,
silence is
okay.
golden. All right. Yeah,
So
see
this
you on
Saturday,
Saturday. So no show
9
tomorrow,
p.m.
Saturday.
9 p.m. 9 p.m.
Philippine
Philippine
time.
time. Okay.
Alrighty.
All right. So, all right, people, thanks a lot for joining us. We'll see you on Saturday, 9 p.m. Philippine time. Rod Rodriguez and Iceman, and we are out.